Meanwhile, MP for Boko Central, Mahama Yariga, says military deployment alone won't solve the crisis in Boko. He says government should prioritize addressing the root cause.
Somebody has gone to unseat a rival chief in Nalergu. You have given orders that the person should be arrested. Has the person been arrested? And then you think that by just stationing soldiers on the ground, you will bring peace in Boko. You know clearly that it will not. And I've told you consistently that this will not. It will not. So don't say that I'm saying things that will bring insecurity and etc. The insecurity is already here with us. We are dying every single day. Some people died 3 days ago. Some died yesterday. 5 days ago, some died. Many are injured and are in the hospital. And you tell me that, I shouldn't be passionate about it? That's not fair. That's not fair to those who are dying every day.
But Mr. Yariga, to be fair to Mr. Yakubu, he said that it's not that people shouldn't be upset or concerned about the situation, but you should watch the tone so that it doesn't spark further chaos, it doesn't degenerate further. I think that's what he said.
And I'm telling you that we are already in the chaos. We are already in the chaos, and government must do what they need to do. And I'm saying that they have failed to do what they need to do. They say one thing and they do a different thing. And it is true that last night the guys were killed by soldiers. He hasn't denied that.
Yeah, but you heard the report from the military. They were saying these people engaged them and they shot back. You heard me ask him that question. And that's what the soldiers are saying.
That is absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue, because the soldiers apprehended 3 of the boys. The assemblyman came out and pleaded with the soldiers. The soldiers refused, drove everybody away, beat the guys mercilessly, and finally, when people were in their homes, they saw that the guys had been shot. Send your own team to go to the community and find out. And you shouldn't tell me that I'm far away, so I don't know what is happening. I get briefings every minute. Whatever happens in Boko, within minutes, I get to know, because there's no corner that I don't have a person sitting there who would have seen it that I can call and find out what did you see, and they will tell me exactly what they saw. Why? These same soldiers who shot and killed people, when I took them on, they issued a statement saying that yes, they neutralized the people. When I went to Shrike, the same soldiers now deny that they didn't kill anybody. When they had publicly told Ghanaians that they neutralized those people, what do you mean by you neutralized? And today I said that you never killed anybody.
Lecturer at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Dr. Victor Doke, says people who are involved in criminal activities must be made to face the full rigors of the law.
Let's treat criminal matters criminal. If people are arrested and evidence has been found that they have been involved in any criminal activity, they should be taken to court. Let the law deal with them. Without that, you would have the other party also stating claims that because there is injustice, I have a right to fight for my own. And that exacerbates the situation. Let's look at how we can resource the National Peace Council, mandated institutions, that have been given the authority to come into this situation and offer or profess solutions to let the situation be addressed once and for all. Until we do all of this, we will not go anywhere. We will always have the issues about sending in security men, right? Curfews in place. And then the issue about the illegal weapons are still in the system. So you ask yourself, there is curfew. So how are these cacophonous shootings still going on? That tells you that these youths know the area better than these security services themselves. So we need to attack the situation holistically. The political dynamics will be there, but then we should ensure that it does not create an avenue to exacerbate the situation already as it is.
In a quest to save a dying source of livelihood, fishermen in Accra's coastal community of Osu say they have resorted to burying tons of plastic waste at the shores as a way of dealing with the growing waste other coastlines. They are asking government to provide resources to properly dispose of the waste collected at the seashore. Joining us, Adobe Asari looks at this practice and questions the approach by the locals to combating the rising filth at the coast.
In the Usu community, determined fishermen take their destiny into their hands, dealing with the mountain filth they are confronted with every morning. A significant part of the filth scattered on the coastline is not entirely their doing, but leaving the plastic waste unattended to poses grave risk to their source of livelihood.
Fishermen don't litter the coast with plastic waste. We are responsible for anything related to fish and not plastic. The residents in the community are responsible for the plastic waste. We clean the beaches because we have no choice. The plastic waste affects our work.
Over the years, residents along the Usu beach, like many other beaches, have battled with pollution ranging from paper to plastic. However, the intervention of the fisher folks here is flipping the narrative. They have begun this clean revolution by burying the waste they came across at the shore.
It's frustrating when waste piles up along the coast. We organize ourselves as fishermen and clean the beaches. We are fed up with the constant littering.
Unlike other materials, plastic does not biodegrade. It can take up to a millennium to break down when not properly discarded. This pollution chokes marine wildlife. It damages soil and poisons groundwater and has the tendency of causing serious health problems. Michael Dogbefu says plastic waste is affecting their livelihood.
It is very disturbing as the waste keeps coming from the various outlets of gutters in the community. This plastic waste sometimes clog our outboard motors and we incur a loss of cost.
Their efforts initially brought a sense of accomplishment. But as the months passed, the buried rubbish resurfaced, and returning to the sea, worry is visibly written on many faces here at the spectacle. Gideon Fletcher, a resident of the Usu community, raises concern about this issue.
This place can be clean if you get a dustbin. After I clean it, we'll put it inside. Maybe someone, like as I'm having a drink like this, if there is a dustbin after drinking, I can drop it inside, but there's nothing like that. So after drinking, I will just drop it. More times, so if you come to work, you have to sweep your workplace. If there is dustbin, they used to sweep and put it inside once and for all, they take it back. But if you dig and you put it inside, one day to come back again.
But all is not lost. There is another initiative, but this time, one that's being pursued by an individual. According to science, plastic degradation is a slow process contributing to the long-lasting environmental impact of plastic pollution. Back at the beach, Michael Dogbefu says it might not be the best practice, but they can't abandon burying the plastic waste in the interim.
Burying waste is something we often do. We have been doing this for years because our petitions have fallen on deaf ears.
You can say these fishermen are doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. These fishermen obviously need the proper logistics to manage waste. But whose responsibility is it? For Joy News, Adobe Asari's report, read to you.
Specialist on marine and coastal ecosystem biodiversity, Dr. Nana Banweredu, who is disappointed with the situation, recommends government must invest in research that will unearth strategies of dealing with the disposal of the country's plastic waste.
For if it is beaches, it's an eyesore. If it is our fishing, it really reduces the amount of fish at least Ghana can harvest
for its own economic benefit and also for a family benefit. It is not something you want to factor into your day-to-day activities for the survival of the coastal people and also for the national economy and especially for tourism. If people will, first of all, reduce their use of plastic, we shall find some way out here. 2, let us bring in the research institutions. As we talk now, aquatic biology, at least at the last count, 2023, early 23, they told me about the various products that they have got from recycled plastic waste. You know, that is where we have to go. If you make a meaning out of your poverty, coming out of your poverty, then you will solve your problem. You're talking about burying this. You're talking about burning and whatnot. They do not bring economic benefit to those who are in it. If, on the other hand, you have the plastics, you send them to a factory where they are cleaned and recycled into something else. And there are tons of areas where these plastic waste can be recycled into other uses. Then people go at it. There are people who even want to invest in those.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly that has been leading the Clean Ghana campaign to ensure good sanitation practices in parts of Accra says it plans on intensifying its sensitization of the public to ensure people are responsible in keeping their communities clean and also dispose of waste in the right manner. Florence Kuchi is the Metro Public Health Director of the AMA.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly, what we have started doing now is we are going more into the waste segregation. And some of these big sites, we are planning on placing dustbins, different kind of dustbins for waste sorting at the beaches, so that people who are into waste recycling can always go there and have clean waste for proper recycling. Bear in mind that these plastics that find their way at the beach side does not generated by the fisher folks. The seaside is at the low-lying area of the, let me say, the Accra Metro, the Gala area. So whatever somebody does at Gawes or at Suhu, when it rains, everything finds its way into the sea. So it becomes overwhelming for these fisher folks, as well as the assembly. So mostly what I say is, waste collection or sanitation is a collective effort. It's not for one person. I play my part, you play your part, then on we go and we have a clean environment. Yes, so in the Israel, for instance, Osu is not directly under the Accra Metropolitan Assembly purview. It is under the Osu Clote. So as it has come into there and we have seen that these are, or this is what these fisher folks are doing at the place, I will have to contact my colleague officer at the Osu Clote. Then we put our heads together and see what we will do. Because the work that we do, much of it depends on collaboration. And without good collaboration, we can never achieve good success.
There is growing pressure on government to suspend the collection of levies into the COVID-19 recovery levy into a special fund that will help the country prepare for health emergencies. The call follows significant decline in the spread of the COVID-19 virus in Ghana and the declaration of the end of the pandemic in Ghana. There's more in the following report.
At the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021, government imposed a special levy known as the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy on the supply of goods and services and imports to raise revenue to support COVID-19 related expenditure. As COVID-19 fades away, government has declared it is no longer a public health emergency, requiring less investment now. This is why various actors within the health space have come together to demand that attention be now shifted from COVID-19 to preparation for future pandemics. Leading this charge is the NGO Hope for the Future Generation. Cecilia Senu is the CEO.
What we are advocating for is that health is important. We all know that COVID-19 is no more public health emergency. And so it's appropriate that the government converts this to strengthen health and invest more in health to achieve the domestic resources and then the Abuja Declaration for 15% for health. Because as it stands now, Ghana has not achieved it. Many African countries have not. And I think it will be good for this country to convert the COVID-19 levy into health, to strengthen our health systems, especially immunization and other public health emergencies.
Also supporting the call is the Ghana Medical Association. Dr. Richard Salome is the vice president of the association.
For us, we are happy to hear. It's something we also, our president, Dr. Frank Shibo, mentioned in one of our public lectures about what to do with the COVID-19 levy. The pandemic is essentially gone, even though we might still be monitoring for it. And so that levy must be repurposed for something. And we believe that if it's repurposed to protect our children especially, as well as to manage other health emergencies, since we've seen even in recent times the disaster due to the flooding and co. We think that this will serve a better purpose. And we are willing to support that advocacy to ensure that those funding sources are repurposed to and ring-fenced, because often when it gets into the general pool, it becomes like sugar in water. You can't find it anymore.
Member of the Health Committee of Parliament and MP for Tano North constituency, Elizabeth Ofusu Ejare, says the committee has started debates and considerations to compel the government to rechannel the COVID-19 levy to other health-related issues.
I heard all the arguments about COVID levy. If you listen to our arguments, this budget debate, personally, I debated on the COVID levy, and I'm of the opinion, like I've shared, that COVID is almost over. The monies are still collected. These monies should be channeled towards our health needs. Even though I'm not a doctor, I don't need to go to medical school to know that as a result of COVID, people now have other conditions to deal with. And so it is not proper to use the COVID levy to, let's say, finance education or finance agriculture. It must be used to finance health, especially for our immunization purposes. So just to let you know that the debate has started, and as the health committee, you know, anything we start, we end well and give you results. Health cannot be used for politics.
Prince Kudoga's report, read to you.
Over 1,000 pupils in Bia West have benefited from the first AI lab to boost STEM education, utter contentment and a sigh of relief for primary school pupils in the Bia West district after communities in the area received their premier artificial intelligence laboratory. After taking things to use an under-resourced makeshift IT lab, pupils in the community can now access equitably cutting-edge smart lab established by Coral Reef Hub to promote STEM education in the area.
For years, students in Iluokrom DAJHS in the Bia West district relied on this makeshift metallic laboratory for IT teaching and learning. The pupils took turns in using the under-resourced laboratory to abreast themselves of technological advancements.
A class of about 40 people, they are going there 4 or 5 in turns. So a place like this, look at the number of people who can easily come in. So this is more beneficial as compared. I'm very delighted to see facilities like this, first in kind in the district.
Not everyone gets the opportunity to go to the ICT lab because it's not spacious. So we are happy with the new center. The Bia West Cocoa Life Cooperative, in partnership with the Coral Reef Innovation Hub, is providing a modern IT laboratory for the school. The 25-seater laboratory is equipped with cutting-edge IT tools, including tablets, robotics materials, and other ancillary components. The digital facility would expose pupils to digital literacy skills while ensuring inclusive and equitable access to education. Richard Osei-Enim is managing partner of Coral Reef Innovation Hub.
Kids will be exposed to these robotic kits. The importance of these robotic kits is that it allows the students to gain those types of skills. Now, what we are trying to do with all the students that we engage is to prepare them for international competitions. You heard of the Manfi girls winning the World Robotics Competition. They won it twice. We're trying to replicate that across the country so that the students can get exposure to international competitions as well. So that's our robotic kits that we are using, an MBOT for our robotic lessons. So the students will be exposed to not just coding and robotics, but also AI. Our partnership with Intel is that every year we need to present about 4 projects from Ghana.
Over 450 pupils in the district are expected to benefit from the center weekly. President of Bia West Cocoa Farmers Association, Adam Issa, believes the new center would catalyze economic growth by attracting investors.
By embracing ICT and AI, we are ensuring that our cooperative remains at the forefront of innovation, and our members and youth are well equipped to face the challenges of the 21st century. The launch of the ICT/AI Center at Eliokrum by Coral Reef Innovation Hub is a testament to the power of partnership and endless possibilities that arise when we come together to pursue a common goal.
The center is expected to see an upscale to a 50-seater to accommodate more students in the subsequent years. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
The CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences at Navrongo in the Upper East region has announced it will soon introduce programs for MPhil and PhD in infectious diseases and immunology at its School of Medical Sciences. According to the acting Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Samson Abagele, some other new programs are being worked on and could all be rolled out this academic year. He was speaking at the third congregation of the university since it was renamed from the Navrongo campus of the University for Development Studies to its current status.
424 students have graduated out of the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Navrongo. They include 190 graduate students and 234 undergraduate students. The graduate students were awarded the Master of Philosophy in Mathematics Education, Master of Philosophy in Applied Sciences, Master of Science in Statistics, among many others. Others received their doctorates of philosophy in Computer Science, Applied Statistics, and Statistics. For the undergraduates, students received their Bachelor of Science degrees in programs such as Computer Science, Mathematics, Information Technology, and many others. This was the third congregation since the university was renamed in the year 2021 from the Navrongo campus of the University for Development Studies, UDS, to the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences, CKT, UTAS. Addressing the congregation, Acting Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Samson Abagale, said, plans were in place to introduce programs for MPhil and PhD in infectious diseases and immunology at the University School of Medical Sciences. He said some other new programs will also be introduced.
Towards the end of 2023, we have 8 great strides to be able to start our program in MPhil and PhD in infectious diseases and immunology in the School of Medical Sciences. We also have been able to submit a program for anesthesia and critical care also in the same school, which has been assessed and hopefully would get started in the immediate future in this academic year. We have also submitted and received approval for assessment to be done on BSc Medical Laboratory Science program. It therefore means that one of our greatest achievements is to have gotten the School of Medical Sciences NST started in the form.
The acting vice-chancellor was, however, worried that the expansion of the university could be hampered by its inadequate infrastructure.
Our staffing is inadequate, and we do not have laboratories on campus that befit the intention to train high-class students that Ghana requires to be able to deliver development in technology and applied sciences. And so we have to depend on other laboratories near and far. We have inadequate housing for students, and currently we have one hostel for males, one hostel for females, and both of them can only accommodate only 250 students.
Delivering the valedictory speech, one of the graduates, Mohammed Zakari Awuni, also called on the government to improve the infrastructure of the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences.
Our university has not equipped us with technical expertise. It has instilled in us passion for innovation and commitment to excellence. I will appeal to both government and educational partners to prioritize enhancing teaching and learning environment at CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences. The university required adequate equipped lecture halls and laboratories, a better road infrastructure, and other essential resources and materials to create a conducive atmosphere for learning.
Upper East Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu charged the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences to tailor their programs to train the youth to be able to take advantage of the natural resources in the region to create employment for themselves and others.
We can boast of huge material deposits such as gold in most districts of this region, clay and rock deposits for ceramic and quarry productions respectively. I challenge leaders to come up with tailor-made programs that will equip the youth with the necessary skills to turn their fortunes around.
Deserving graduates were also awarded for their hard work and excellent performances. For Joy News, Albert Sori, Navrongo.
And on your election headquarters, a phrase often used during internal party elections is fear delegates emanating from the shock some politicians receive after banking their assurances on the promises of delegates to vote for them. But the Member of Parliament for Tano North constituency, Frida Prempe, disagrees with the assertion as she seeks re-election. She has absolute trust in delegates voting in the NPP Parliamentary Primary in the area based on her work in the constituency. Nanaya Ojima has more.
I want to thank my delegates. They've been my bedrock. They've been my backbone. They've always been behind me. They are solidly behind me. I thank them so much. And I want to assure them that I've worked so hard and I'll continue to work hard to uplift the image of Tano North.
For close to a decade, fear delegates have become a common lexicon in Ghanaian politics. To many, it forewarns politicians not to put their trust in party delegates. But the Minister of State at the presidency, Frida Prempe, whose polling station coordinators helped submit her nomination forms, trusts the delegates to deliver victory for her in the NPP primary.
100% support from my delegates. I don't fear delegates. I trust my delegates because I've worked with them. I've lived with them. I don't impose decisions with them. I take decisions with them. And I know they are going to crown me with my efforts come 27th January.
The incumbent MP, seeking a fourth term, will have to beat spokesperson for the Vice President, Dr. Gideon Boakon, in the party primary. As the campaign of Dr. Boakon gains attention, Madame Prempe says she is unfazed. She is confident her initiative in infrastructure development will win her another term.
I've worked so hard in this constituency. I've been able to sink and mechanize 130 boreholes. I've been able to construct 11 CHIPS compounds. I've lobbied for about 25 educational facilities. I've done about 10 Deba grounds. I've done 2 astroturfs in this constituency. In terms of electricity, the coverage in this constituency is over 85%. In terms of roads, it's about 90%. Where we cannot even push the national grid to, I've been able to install solar street lights in those communities for the deprived areas. I've been able to ensure that all the schools in my constituency are covered. They all have school feeding programs in their schools. I will continue to work hard. I've worked so hard.
Among projects initiated by the MP is a fire service training school, which is at an advanced stage of completion. Here are some delegates who have promised to give the incumbent another term.
I
want the woman to be retained because of the development she brought to us here. Some men who came before her couldn't perform this well.
Youth organizer any CPP.
I am a member of the CPP, and this is the proof. The woman is an MP who serves well. She is even lauded by visitors.
Nipa on any contest in the mean to me,
the person contesting here is only using the opportunity to let people know him so that he can take over when the woman is no longer interested. Until she came, my community had never seen tarred roads. She has given us good roads and other developmental projects. I want her mandate renewed.
The results from the NPP primaries will tell if indeed delegates could be trusted as posited by MP Frida Prempe. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Ahafo Region.
Your election headquarters is where to stay for everything election, and NPP primary is coming off on January 27. Let's take a break on Joy News today. We'll be back with business.
A great afternoon to you and a warm welcome to the business segment of Joy News today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. The Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund is set to pass Ghana on its first review under the fund program later today. This is based on what Joy Business has picked up from persons working with the program. Now, the board is also expected to approve and disburse about $600 million to Ghana within the next 3 working days. However, it is not clear for now what will be the IMF's verdict on the current state of the economy and challenges ahead. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been given details on areas the funds will be directed. He's been speaking on PM Express Business Edition.
I think because we are also fortunate to be able to extend the cutoff date to December 2022, it puts all of the projects in play in a sense that we can now get into bilateral discussions, and therefore they are all encouraged to begin to release the resources that are required for them. So we are in a good place for that engine to be cranked for us to see the jobs back and the projects being done. So that's a good part.
So that's a surety that because of this, that we are going to see some of these major projects resuming as well.
Yeah.
The inflation bit that you spoke about,
right?
How committed is government to doing what it has to do, food prices and all those things, for us to see that trend continue because of the broader impact it has on interest rates and cost of living and all that? Some would say that starts with government in terms of the fiscal discipline.
Yeah. Good question. I mean, so what is the evidence?
Or what else can you show us as the person that signs the check and when a colleague minister or George Afekolo comes to you and insists that, Minister, you have to sign the check for me, but doesn't fall in line with the budget and all the pressures, and what surety do you give to us?
Then it won't happen. I mean, we have moved inflation by, what, 31%, George? That took, quite a bit of work and an ability to say no. I think the country is aware of the cost of inflation and much more aware of the cost of currency depreciation. So we are aligned. I think there's one language, and the Ministry of Finance is not here to be loved, but to make sure the community crosses the Jordan. And the consequences are quite dire, because in June, we expect a 300 million release. In December, another 300 million. We can't afford not to have that, which means that the indicative targets, the benchmarks have to be met. And in there is embedded the issues of expenditure, etc., that we would adhere to. We have done it in the past 1.5 years, as you can see, and we'll continue to do that. So those are guardrails for us.
72% of businesses in Ghana perceived the country's business environment as lagging behind its peers. That's according to the UK-based Ghana Chamber of Commerce 2023 Ghana Business Environment and Competitiveness Survey. The report stated that the firms believed Ghana's business environment slumped in 2023 compared to 47% that said the same in 2022. More in this report. This is in addition to a general view that other countries in the sub-region are not struggling as much as Ghana in the aftermath of COVID-19, the Russian-Ukraine war, and the supply chain disruptions it's found. Again, a staggering 75% of the respondents perceived corruption as a continuing bane to business operations, even though trends showed a decline in corruption compared to 2022. Regarding favorable business components assessed, the respondents favorably highlighted the availability of telecom facilities as one of the advantageous aspects of the Ghanaian business environment. It was also perceived that cost of labor, unskilled and skilled, remains affordable to most businesses. Additionally, the government's support of international trade and availability of good quality transport infrastructure ranked second and third respectively on the worst business components list. Over 690 businesses, including UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce members and non-member companies from 16 industries, ranging from small to large companies, participated in the survey. That's all for business. I am Pius Kojobaka. Sports is next.
It's time for sports on JN today. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, some Ghanaian fans have been reacting to the performance of the Black Stars against the Pharaohs of Egypt.
So the game between the Black Stars of Ghana and their Egyptian counterparts ended in a 2-2 draw. A couple of minutes ago, we are right here, around the Felix Ofe-Boigny Stadium where the match was played. We are engaging some of the Ghanaian fans who look disappointed after this, 2-2 draw. Let's listen to what they've been saying in relation to what happened on the field of play.
Very, very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Because if you look at our first game that we played, we thought that technically, tactically, systematically, strategically, this game against Egypt would change. But still, the same story, the same old stories. Kudus, that all Ghanaians were mentioning his name, Kudus, Robin Ejuma, scoring 2 goals. And as my brother said, we gifted them 2 goals. Very, very sad.
Indeed, we are saddened by the results that opted out from the game we just played, because most of Ghanaians were expecting nothing but a win. But the goals that we considered is questionable, because a hard-fought goal against a gifted goal, that's what I see.
The kind of the same mistake 2 times. Why the same mistake 2 times? Why? In fact, we have the whole of Ghana team will be a buy now. So be a could be any my basa.
What you say? And yes, sir.
And the Salisu is not playing anything. So comparing with Duku, Salisu is not playing any aggressive football. Just because we beg him to come and play for us or what? There's no any seriousness at the back there. That's why I'm having problems. The Jordan is tired. You have to bring him. We have a lot of players sitting on the back there. And then I'm telling you, this our GFA chairman is an attitude promise. It's not good at all.
Even though the results isn't what the fans expect.
Abbas Sabit with that report, and that's your sports on JM Today. My name is Harun Warak.
And that's how we end Showbiz. That's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our program. Bye.